I'm often asked for ideas for leftover yarns, and today I'm going to show you sort of domino patches, but we only knit them half, and you could make a very beautiful stole or shawl out of it, or even other items, knitwear like jackets. And you may work those domino patches in different sizes. I'm going to show you one where I cast on 21 stitches. You need an odd number of stitches anyway. We are going to work in knit stitches only, and we start with the wrong side row of knit stitches. So fast forward, and all the following edge stitches, the last edge stitch is always slipped purlwise, and the first edge stitch is always knitted. So last stitch slip purlwise and first stitch knit. So now this is the first pattern row, and you always knit practically the same. Knit 9 stitches in this case, so you count your number of stitches, 21, minus 3, because you will knit the middle 3 stitches together, and half of it before and half of it after. So knit 9 stitches, slip 1, knit together 2 and pass over the slipped one, and 9 more knit stitches. That reduced the number of stitches on this row by 2. Last one slipped purlwise, first one always knitted like the other stitches. So wrong side row, knit all the stitches. Eventually you may purl the middle stitch where you knit together the stitches in the previous row, but you may as well knit this middle stitch. Next row, right side, there are 2 stitches less, so knit 8 stitches, knit 3 together by slipping 1, knitting 2 together and passing over the slipped one, and knit 8 stitches again. So continue like this until you have 5 ridges on the right side, 5 ridges of the garter stitch, and now you bind off all the stitches. In my case I have 13 stitches now. You bind off on a right side as you would usually do. Knit 1, pass over the first knitted one, knit 1, pass over the previous one, knit 1, pass over the previous one, and so on. Now there is 1 stitch left at the end of the row, and we continue without cutting the yarn, adding the next motif. Here we are. The form is like an L, like the letter L, and now you need to add the next L on top of it. So you will cast on 5 stitches to the right with a loop cast on, then you will knit back, pick up stitches from the small side, from the small border of the first element. So we just start now. So slip cast on 5 stitches, 3, 4, 5. No, only 4 because I'd already 1 on the needle. Now you knit those stitches, 3, 4, 5. Now you pick up the stitches out of the border, of the smaller border, of the smaller edge of the L. And now one more stitch, the odd stitch as a middle stitch exactly at the corner. And now you cast on 10 more stitches with loop cast on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn the work 1 wrong side row with knit stitches and continue same way as with the first motif. So, and knit the same 5 ridges of the garter stitch, and actually you would work columns of those L's and then add the second column. So I'm doing just a small piece for demonstration, so I need to cut the yarn. Usually you won't cut the yarn. And I'm going to cast on again 10 stitches. We add the third element, in this case right of the first element. Cast on 10 stitches, then again. You could do this with a separate needle. Just take the loops of the edge on a needle and knit them through the back loop. Just continue with a cast on needle and knit those 5 stitches through the back loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now 5 more to cast on with, 1. I need 1 more here with the help of a hook. And now you cast on 5 more stitches with loop cast on. One, 2, 3, 4, and I take the 5th one out of the corner of the second element, so I can already fix and join those elements together with the last stitch. And now again, like before, 1 wrong side row of knit stitches and 5 ridges, same pattern as with the first 2 elements. Here we are, third element ready. So as I've told you, usually you would work columns of those L forms and you would add the next column of those L forms. So as I'm going to knit such a small piece, I'm cutting the yarn and I have to start over every time. So here again, cast on 5 stitches with loop cast on, turn the work back. Now on the right side, knit stitches, and I'm sorry for the blurry vision here. My camera seems to have problems with focusing. That's annoying, but I can't change it at the moment. I hope that camera doesn't give up its ghost. So again, 5 stitches out of the edge with the help of a second needle. And then I place the odd stitch. I try to place it exactly in the middle between the 2 elements. I continue knitting through the back loop. And 1 stitch exactly at the joint of the 2 elements, and 5 more out of the edge of the second element. Sorry, blurry again. I have to check what's wrong with the camera tomorrow. And knit those 5 stitches through the back loop again. As when you pick up the stitches, they lay switched on the needles. And 5 more to cast on with loop cast on. So, and again, 1 back row, wrong side row of knit stitches, and continue the same way as with the other elements. 5 ridges of garter stitch, then bind off and continue with more motifs. And you may continue endlessly for a blanket, for a stole, for a triangle scarf, and it looks especially beautiful with gradient yarn or with leftovers of sock yarn. Enjoy!